Hey everyone, it's Jared here, and today's lesson is on some 8th note triplet drum fills taught by Mike Michalkow. Now, we just launched a new way of learning the drums within Drumeo, and that's called the Drumeo courses. It allows you to track your progress and kind of build your drumming history. And so this is an excerpt from one of those courses on 8th note triplets. So check it out. I know you're going to absolutely love it.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Michalkow here, and I want to teach you guys 8th note triplet fills in this Drumeo course. Okay, so now that we've learned the triplet beats, it's time to put some fills with these beats, okay? So what we'll end up doing is we're going to play the first and the last triplet on the snare drum, 1 triplet. Then we're going to play the first and the last triplet of beat 2 on the small tom, 2 triplet, followed by all 3 triplets on the mid tom, 3 triplet, finally ending with the last 3 triplets of beat 4, 4 triplet. So it'd be like 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, da, 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 da. Let me demonstrate that at 60 and 90 beats per minute. In number 2, we're going to get a little more adventurous with the triplets. We're going to start moving them around the drum set in a way that we wouldn't naturally move around. And what I mean by that is naturally is just to kind of play sort of around the set in sort of a sequence of snare drum, small tom, mid tom, floor tom. This one's nice because we really mix up that pattern, but it becomes a pattern in its own, which is pretty super cool. So it's all the triplets. There's no rest. So we're going to play all 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Okay, we're going to go snare drum, small tom, floor tom, so 1 triplet, okay? 2 triplet goes floor tom, mid tom, snare. Okay, so you might want to just check that part out, okay? Then the last half of the beat goes snare drum, small tom, floor tom, last 3 notes, floor tom, small tom, ending on the snare. So it seems like a lot going on there. But what we're going to have is something like this. I'll just air drum it so you can kind of see it. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Let me play it for you slow, okay? Here it is. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Now let me demonstrate that for you at 60 and 90 beats per minute. So number 3 is a really cool concept that I like to practice with triplets. It's still going to be all the triplets, no rests, but the concept of this fill is going to be right, left foot, left, right foot, okay? And then we're going to repeat that, that pattern. Right, left foot, left, right foot, right, left foot, left, right foot, okay? So if this is going to be a challenging fill for some of you guys, I would suggest just doing that pattern on the snare drum for a little while and then try to move your hands around to where I'm going to go with this one, okay? So the first right, left foot is snare, snare, foot, okay? Then left, right foot is going to be small tom, floor tom, foot. That's your first left, right foot, okay? Then we're going to play floor tom, small tom, foot, which is back to right, left foot, okay? Ending with small, floor, foot, left, right foot, okay? So it might seem really crazy, but it's not. It's actually super easy, okay? So here it is, super slow. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So as you can see, the pattern isn't overly crazy or overly hard. It just might take a little bit of practice to get used to that back and forth feel, because a lot of times drummers like to lead with the right hand, but it's nice to be able to do some left hand lead stuff as well. It really opens up so many different doors for your playing. So I would suggest practicing that one nice and slow, but let's try this one at 60 and 90 beats per minute. This next fill is a lot of fun. What we're going to do with this one is we're going to play quarter notes on the bass drum, followed by 2 triplets on the snare drum. So the pattern is going to be really simple. It's just going to be bass, right, left, bass, right, left, bass, right, left, bass, right, left, which in turn gives us all of our triplets. Something like this. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So let's take a look at number 4 at 60 and 90 beats per minute. So number 5 is a nice little challenge for you guys at home, because what we're going to do is we're going to mix up quarter notes, eighth note triplets, and eighth notes, okay? So all we're doing on count 1 is we're crashing with the snare drum and the bass. Something I see a lot of drummers actually have a hard time doing because they're used to crashing with just the bass drum sometimes. So now we're getting a chance to crash all 3 limbs, right hand, left hand, and bass drum at the same time. So that's what's happening on count 1, okay? Now count 2, you're simply just going to play 3 eighth note triplets on the snare. 2 triplet. Super simple. So far we've got 1, 2 triplet. Make sure you got enough space between the 1 and the 2. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, okay? So for 3 triplet, we're going to go small tom, floor tom, bass. Da, da, okay? So I'm going to play that left, right foot, just so I don't get too tangled up. Left, right foot, followed by another crash cymbal with the snare, and all 3 sounds come down, mid tom, floor tom, bass drum at the same time. But those last 2 hits are 4 and. So that's where our eighth notes happen. 4 and, okay? So let's just work backwards for a second. Here's 4 and, okay? 1, 2, 3. So if you happen to have a crash over here and you want to do that, it's the same thing. 4 and, just make sure your right hand gets down to the floor tom in time, okay? Now, count 1 is super simple because you're just playing all 3 sounds at the same time. Crash cymbal, snare, and bass. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't get easier than that. Count 2, 2 triplet. So here's count 1 and count 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's follow that with 3 triplet, let being on the bass drum. Here's all 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And followed by the 4 and. And the 4 and's going to make it sound like the fill wants to slow down. Don't slow down the tempo, just slow down the note value, okay? So here's the whole thing, nice and slow. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Let's now try that at 60 and 90 beats per minute. Have fun. So as you can see, it's always fun to practice fills. I know drummers always want to learn more fills. I always want to learn more fills. Why not? The more fills, the better, right? But make sure that you treat a fill as a musical expression in your playing, okay? And make them sound just as good as the beats. They don't want to be, you don't want to hurry through them. You don't want to drag them. Every note should be just as important as the other one. So take these guys really nice and slow. Practice them at 60 beats per minute. Make sure you can master them at that tempo before moving on. And I'll see you at the next lesson. Take care.